Hello, today we are going to present about a company that probably have a conflict of interest. So the company we choose is Netflix. Okay, now I will talk about Netflix company background. It's founded in 29 August 1997. The founders is Reed Hastings and Mark Randolph, and the headquarters is Los Gatos, California, USA. Netflix started as a DVD rental by mail service in 1998. Its innovative subscription model introduced in 1999 allow users to rent unlimited DVDs for a flat monthly fee, eliminating late fees. This model disrupted traditional video rental stores like Blockbuster. In 2007, Netflix launched its streaming service, allowing subscribers to instantly watch movies and TV shows online, a major turning point that positioned the company as a pioneer in digital entertainment. For evolution and expansion, rapid global expansion began in 2010, and by 2016, Netflix was available in over 190 countries.
This is organizational chart or structure of Netflix.
First, I'm going to talk about the conflict of interest between making profits and staying true to ethical responsibilities. On one hand, businesses want to make money, often through global expansion or content deals. But on the other hand, they also have to follow ethical standards like freedom of expression and editorial integrity. This can create a problem when companies have to choose between maximizing profits and staying true to their values. For example, some companies have to censor or change content to meet government demands in certain countries. While this might help them make more money, it can compromise their values like free speech.
So, for the second main problem causing the conflict of interest to happen is cross-industry ties and leadership influence. Executives like Reed Hastings have ties to major companies, for example is Facebook, potentially influencing Netflix business decisions. For example, decisions that benefit other companies or cross-industry interests over Netflix long-term goals.
For the third main problem causing the conflict of interest to happen is data-driven decisions over creative freedoms. Netflix relies heavily on data and algorithm to decide what content to produce, prioritizing and profitability over creativity. For example, they focus on safe content over innovative or diverse projects, limiting artistic freedom.
Next is stakeholders that involve. First is suppliers and partners. In the case of suppliers and partners for Netflix, a conflict of interest can happen if a company that supplies goods or service to Netflix, like production studios, marketing firms, tech companies, or even talent agencies, is also working closely with Netflix competitors or has some personal or financial ties that affect their behavior. For the example is a production company might be making shows for Netflix and for Disney Plus at the same time.
The next stakeholder involved in Netflix is the investor. These are large shareholders who have invested a significant amount of money into the company. They play an important role because their support helps Netflix grow and expand its business. Some of these investors also have stakes in other big media or tech companies, which give them a lot of experience and insight into the industry. Their opinions and decisions can influence Netflix strategies such as content investment, partnership, and market expansion.
The third stakeholder that involved for Netflix, which is customers. Customers are probably Netflix's most important stakeholders. Without them, Netflix wouldn't have any revenue or reason to exist. Why customer is the most important stakeholder of Netflix is because customer is the revenue source for Netflix. Customers pay monthly subscription fees. The more customers, the more money Netflix earns. The subscription model, for example, basic, standard, and premium, is designed based on customer needs and willingness to pay them.
The first conflict type is profit motive versus ethical responsibility, and it involves censorship and content alteration. Netflix prioritizes profitability in global markets, but this can lead to ethical compromises. In some countries, to keep operating and making profit, Netflix must follow local government regulation, which often means removing or changing content. For example, in Saudi Arabia, Netflix removed an episode of the show Patriot Act because it criticized the government. In China, strict censorship laws make it very difficult for Netflix to offer content freely, especially anything related to politics or human rights. This shows how the company's goal to expand and earn more can sometimes go against ethical responsibilities like freedom of expression and editorial independence.
Okay, for the second type of conflict of interest is cross-industry ties and leadership influence. This conflict type is influence on strategic decisions. Executive ties to companies like Facebook can lead to decisions that benefit personal or cross-industry interests, potentially harming Netflix's independent or business strategy.
For the third types of conflict of interest is data-driven decisions over creative freedoms. For the conflict type is formulaic content productions, which is Netflix heavy reliance on data and algorithms to determine successful content results in the prioritizations of safe, predictable shows, limiting creative and innovative projects.
Okay, next is the effect of the conflict of interest issues. For the first one is loss of public interest. When viewers sense that Netflix is prioritizing profit over quality, fairness, or ethics, they may lose trust and cancel their subscriptions. For examples, if Netflix heavily promotes certain shows or content just because of secret business deals instead of based on quality or customer interest, people could feel betrayed or manipulated. Negative headlines spread fast on social media, making people angry or disappointed. Netflix is known for being innovative, bold, and trustworthy, but repeated ethical issues can ruin that image. Even if Netflix later apologizes or corrects mistakes, the stench stays in people's memories.
The second effect of this conflict is lower content quality and creativity. When companies like Netflix focus too much on maximizing profit, content is often chosen based on data trends, meaning they pick content that's already proven to be popular rather than giving space to original or creative ideas. As a result, unique or experimental creators may get overlooked or restricted because their ideas don't fit the formula that gets the most views. This leads to the platform being filled with safe, repetitive content. So, while the company may make more money, it can also limit the variety and originality of what's available to viewers.
So, for the last one is unfair and biased decision making. Decision may benefit certain executive or partners companies. This means that leadership might make choices that aren't best for Netflix overall, but instead help specific people like executive who have personal interests or partner companies, suppliers, production, and studios. For example, an executive could push a deal with a company they secretly invest in even if it's not the best deal for Netflix. Employees and creators may feel discreet or demotivated. When decisions are unfair, employees, writers, directors, and staff notice it. They might feel like their hard work doesn't matter if favoritism is more important than real talent or effort. Lack of transparency affects internal trust and culture. If Netflix isn't clear about how decisions are made and why certain projects or people get promoted, people inside the company start to lose trust. Wisdom.
Next is solution for the problem. The first solution is to strengthen ethical guidelines and transparency. Netflix can create clear internal ethics policies that guide decision-making for content creation and leadership conduct. By having specific guidelines in place, the company can ensure that ethical considerations are prioritized alongside business goals. Additionally, being transparent with users about why certain content is removed or modified will help build trust. This means openly explaining the reasons behind any changes or censorship. Lastly, Netflix can publish regular reports on their ethical practices and decision-making processes. This would keep both the public and stakeholders informed about how content choices are made, fostering a sense of responsibility and accountability.
Okay, for the second solution of the problem is balance data with creative freedoms. It is use data as a tool, not the only factor in content decisions. Invest in diverse and experimental content even if it is high risk. Encourage collaboration with independent creators and fresh talents.
So, for the third solution for the problem is manage executive conflicts properly. First is require executive to disclose outside interests or board roles. Netflix should ask executives to be honest about any side businesses, investments, or seats they have on other companies' boards. The second one is set boundaries to prevent decisions that benefit other companies. Even if executives have outside interests, there need to be clear rules so they can make Netflix decisions that secretly help other companies they are connected to. It's about protecting Netflix interests first. The last one is introduce third-party audits or committees to review major decisions. This helps catch any unfair bias and ensures that choices are made in the best interest of Netflix, not someone's personal gain. That's all from us. Thank you.